how you spend your hours and minutes and seconds even, but let's not go too extreme, but how you spend your, let's say, days is how you spend your life. I know that's a bit of a cliche, but like most cliches, there's a lot of truth to it. And I just bring this up because thinking about being a self-employed English teacher, you might think, well, it's not really my cup of tea, I don't want to do that. Okay, well, how do you want to spend your life? How do you want to spend your hours? Working at a job that you detest, living for the weekends, getting rat-arsed, sobering up on Sunday and doing it all again. I've done that, been there, done that. It's alright, but it's a bit empty, a bit of an empty existence, isn't it? I'm not saying that teaching English is necessarily stimulating all the time, it's not. But, you know, being self-employed is pretty cool. You know, if you can shape your job how you want it to be, it's sort of like, you know, as a teacher, you can almost pick the students that you want. So you can attract a certain type of student. If you're happy teaching kids, clap your hands. If you're happy teaching kids, then, you know, have lots of kids lessons and model yourself as a children's English teacher. If you detest the little so-and-sos, be a business coach, English teacher, or something in between, you know. It's not 100%, you have to do, sometimes you have to do lessons that you don't particularly want to do, but 90% of the time, you know, as time goes on, you shape your business to fit your needs. And so, you know, that does become how you spend your life. So, yeah, I mean, if I think deeply about it, oh, I don't want to spend my life jumping up and down and singing to little kids. But then again, do I want to spend my life sitting in meetings talking about how to sell more tubes of toothpaste or whatever it is? Well, I used to be in newspapers, and well, that was an interesting, relatively interesting job. The meetings were just as boring as anything else, and soul destroying, and the same office politics that you get in every office. So, I don't know. I mean, you know, if you can find something that you can do, that you're good at, that you can hold your head up, and you don't mind spending a good chunk of your life doing, have at it. The other thing you can do is a shameless self-promotion. The other thing you can do is fit in bits and bobs of stuff that you want to do. In other words, have a job that you don't particularly love, but don't particularly hate, and then make sure that your time outside of the office is spent on things that you love doing. I wrote a book about this called Jeff Wars, which I've forgotten the subhead. Anyway, I'll put a link to it. But I wrote a brief book about this, and this is what I do, basically crossing off boxes every day, so that even if it's only 5 minutes, I manage to do a little bit of art, reading, Japanese practice, exercise, eating healthily, all that good stuff. I'll leave a link. Anyway, just a thought, how you live your days is how you live your life, so how are you living your day? Okay, see ya.